In the annals of American crime, few names provoke as much horror and fascination as Jeffrey Dahmer, the man dubbed the Milwaukee Cannibal. His gruesome crimes shocked the world, and decades later, his story continues to haunt the public imagination. Today, we take a closer look at who Jeffrey Dahmer really was, and how he became one of history's most infamous serial killers. Jeffrey Dahmer was born on May 21st, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From an early age, Dahmer exhibited troubling behavior, a fascination with dead animals, and a growing sense of isolation. His parents' troubled marriage and eventual divorce only deepened his emotional detachment. Despite being intelligent, Dahmer's teenage years were marked by alcoholism and a growing desire to dominate and control, signs that would soon escalate into something far more sinister. June 1978, Dahmer picks up an 18-year-old hitchhiker, Stephen Hicks. They drink together at his parents' empty house. When Hicks tries to leave, Dahmer panics, hitting him with a dumbbell and strangling him. He dismembers the body and buries the remains in the backyard, later exhuming and dissolving them in acid. After this crime, Dahmer enrolled in college but quickly dropped out due to heavy drinking. He then joined the army, serving as a medic in Germany, where some speculate, though never confirmed, that additional crimes may have occurred. Discharged in 1981, Dahmer moved to Florida, then back to Ohio, and finally to Milwaukee. The next murder wouldn't occur for almost a decade, but his fantasies never stopped. In 1987, Dahmer murdered Stephen Twomey at a hotel in Milwaukee. He claimed to have blacked out and woke up next to Twomey's beaten corpse. From this point on, Dahmer's murders became more frequent and ritualized. Victims like James Dockstader, 14, Richard Guerrero, 22, and Anthony Sears, 24, followed. Dahmer began preserving skulls, taking Polaroids during dismemberment, and collecting body parts, turning his apartment into a macabre trophy room. By 1990, he was killing at a rapid pace, and his methods were evolving. He began drugging victims, drilling holes in their skulls, and injecting hydrochloric acid or boiling water in a twisted attempt to create mindless sex slaves. The murders of Conorak, Cynthia Sumphone, Tony Hughes, and others highlighted Dahmer's growing confidence and disturbing detachment from reality. Dahmer's victims were predominantly young men of color, many of whom came from vulnerable or marginalized communities. Several were underage. This pattern raised serious questions about police negligence, especially after a 14-year-old, Conorak Cynthia Sumphone, managed to escape, only to be returned to Dahmer by police who assumed the pair were in a domestic dispute. Hours later, Conorak was dead. Some of his victims were deaf, homeless, or struggling with addiction. Many met him at gay bars or on the street, lured with promises of money from modeling photos. Few suspected the horror that awaited. On July 22, 1991, Tracy Edwards became the man who stopped Jeffrey Dahmer. After being lured to the apartment, Edwards sensed something was wrong. He noticed strange smells, a foul-colored drink, and chilling photos on the wall. When Dahmer turned his back, Edwards escaped and flagged down police. Inside apartment 213, officers found a nightmare. Polaroids of dismembered bodies, skulls in the freezer, a human heart, severed heads in the fridge, and a 57-gallon barrel of acid filled with decomposing torsos. They had uncovered the lair of a serial killer. Dahmer confessed to 17 murders in painstaking detail. His tone was cold, factual, emotionless. He admitted to necrophilia, cannibalism, and an obsession with possession and control. At trial, Dahmer pled guilty but insane. The jury rejected the insanity defense, finding him legally sane and fully responsible. In 1992, he was sentenced to 15 life terms, over 900 years in prison. Even behind bars, Dahmer remained a figure of fascination and revulsion. He reportedly found religion in prison and expressed remorse for his crimes. But on November 28, 1994, Dahmer was bludgeoned to death by a fellow inmate, Christopher Scarver, using a metal bar in the prison gym. Scarver later said he was disturbed by Dahmer's behavior in prison, including shaping food into body parts and mocking guards. The legacy of Jeffrey Dahmer is a complex and painful one. His crimes forced America to confront failures in the justice system, societal biases, and mental health treatment. Many of his victims' families criticized the media for sensationalizing Dahmer and turning a murderer into a household name, while their loved ones remained forgotten. In recent years, renewed attention from shows like Netflix's Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story has sparked debate. Are we educating the public or feeding a culture of serial killer obsession? What remains clear is this: the true horror of Jeffrey Dahmer's story lies not in the man himself, but in the lives he destroyed. If you found this documentary informative, please consider subscribing for more true crime content. But remember, these aren't just stories. They're real lives, real pain, and real people who deserve to be remembered. Let us know in the comments. What lessons should the world take from Jeffrey Dahmer's story? And who should we cover next?